Welcome to Here's to Your Health with Joshua Lane. Here's to Your Health discusses the current thinking in wellness, bringing you the most influential thinkers in beauty, fitness, and longevity. Your host, Joshua Lane, was part of the Dr. Ann Wigmore team that helped bring wheatgrass sprouts and raw foods to a worldwide audience. And now the host of Here's to Your Health, Joshua Lane.
Welcome to this edition of Here's to Your Health. I'm your host, Josh Lane. Our topic today is long life with aloe. The idea of living to 100 years of age, well, the aloe vera research matches up with that and matches up with what successful agers hold in common into their 80s, 90s, and even 100. And joining us today is a regular contributor to the show, Karen Masterson-Cook. And Karen is a clinical nutritionist for more than 40 years, a health educator, the author of a number of influential books on health, including Beyond Gluten Intolerance. And Karen is the founder of Aloe Life International, founded in 1991. And Aloe Life produces, in my opinion, the best aloe products. There are now 17. And I actually use them. That's why I can make that comment. I use them very successfully. The Aloe Gold I like very much, and also the Skin Gel. And Karen, welcome to Here's to Your Health.
Well, thank you so much once again, Josh, and listeners. It's great to be with you talking about health, and there hasn't been a more important time in our history, as you've been starting to share, about choosing health every day, because this is a dismal report coming out of the CDC where they show that life expectancy for the first time is going down in the United States. And, you know, I just thought I wanted to weigh in before you asked me a question about how important aloe is for long life. And it is, friends. When you have a quality product, there is nothing like a quality product like Aloe Life to really help you get back on track. Kind of a shortcut. But this report from the Center of Disease Control, CDC, definitely is an alarm. And we need to take heed in our country, and it gives us the opportunity to talk about health, because what they're saying, of course, that it's on the heels of the COVID-19 virus. But friends, I want you to know we've been having the flu viruses for a long time, and these COVID viruses, it's not the first flu virus. This one was just engineered to be more potent, stronger. Yet what they do come out and say on this report, I mean, you lose 2 years. Okay, in a way, it's still shameful that the average life expectancy that they view Americans is only 80 years old, but now we're back to 78 years of age. But what in the little print, what I want to share with you, friends, is they talk about two of the conditions that are out of control, spiking, and you have the controls, and that's diabetes and liver disease. And we're seeing younger and younger people being diagnosed with lazy liver, cirrhosis of the liver that's non-alcoholic. It's really crazy, horrible. And I have so many guidelines that I've been dealing with clinical diabetes and non-diagnosed diabetes, and definitely these new conditions that the obesity epidemic has been spiking, and causing over 60 diseases. We're now seeing an autoimmune. So again, when you start hearing the science today of why a therapeutic aloe really helps all Americans, adults and children, get back on track in record speed, I think you're going to get excited.
Yes. Our guest is Karen Masterson-Cook, and Karen is the author of Beyond Gluten Intolerance and is the founder of Aloe Life International, producing, in my opinion, really possibly the best of the aloe products we use in the United States. I use them, and that's why I make that statement. Now, Karen, many people listening to the broadcast understand that aloe vera is excellent for skin. They know it's good for digestion. How is it that you can relate aloe to living a long and healthy life?
Well, it's such a good question. I mean, how could we jump from digestion? And some people are still going, oh, you can drink it. But most people in the 21st century now know that aloe is the number one choice for digestion, because it's actually, when it has all of the properties, the over 100 friends, from the plant itself. And the quality plants, there's over 300 species, but the quality plants that have immunity factor, it truly does help to not only even out balance autoimmune with these actives called sterols. Yes, sterols. And this is science, friend. I didn't know this when I first stumbled into it. Working in AIDS and cancer is what got my attention with the aloe vera plant. But the Aloe barbadendis, or arborensis, but the Aloe barbadendis has the largest leaves, and it's full of these amazing phytonutrients that not only help with skin, as we just did a show, which was so important for skin, because all the skin conditions are up with people not eating properly, and now with the economy, but it's back on track. Eat your carrots, eat your fish, eat your, turkey, and your lentils, so it's a combination of the Mediterranean diet with the stimulus of aloe to get the digestion going, and it does when you have a good product like Aloe Life. But immunity is what got my first attention, because working in AIDS back in the 80s, they were talking about it being so helpful, and I didn't believe it. I know you've heard my story before, Josh, but sure enough, the research that was coming out, first of all, on leukemia in cats is what my first alert came, and that was the cats that had leukemia, very common in people, but also in cats. When they were given aloe, they actually went into remission. Many of the cats, and they all lived longer, where the controls all died actually in pretty fast speed. It's a terrible blood cancer disease, and so people are seeing those numbers along with all the cancer numbers going up, up, up. So that got my attention, and then it was history from there. We did a study in our clinic in San Diego, and boy, did all our patients make me a believer, because their lab work was improving, their energy came up, and that's a litmus in anything that really works. And I know that was, just the beginning, and that was 33 years ago, friends.
Wow. Our guest is Karen Masterson Cook, and Karen Masterson is the founder of Aloe Life. Produces the best aloe products. They're now 17 since 1991. So, Karen, you just mentioned these important studies as far as aloe and problems such as cancer and AIDS. And so this kind of made you realize the incredible value of aloe vera. So my question for you is, people might know about Aloe Life. It's really sold throughout the United States in wellness stores and pharmacies throughout the United States. But what are the differences in aloe products on the market today? What are we looking for?
Well, that's really the million-dollar question. What's the difference? So now that you know that there is value. In fact, it's the most popular herb and superfood in 40 countries that were polled not too long ago, just a couple of years ago, with ginger only coming in second, and then some of the greens in some of these countries called pulses, kind of like watercress, is really valuable. And it happens to be in the Aloe Life greens, too. It's very, very popular in other countries, and it has been selling in the number one spot in 2009 and number 6 right now in the top superfoods and herbal products and greens, and with people really needing to understand their immune system. Recently, lung support from elderberry, that's up there as well. But again, aloe is big, but there's a big difference in aloe products, and that's important. I have met hundreds of people that thought they were drinking aloe, and what they were drinking was water. So there's a lot of adulteration, friends, going on in aloe, and Aloe Life tests out highest in the phytonutrients. That's the sterols, the phytosterols that help to even out autoimmune, so essential. And when we did our actual clinical study with our patients, stimulates bone marrow to make T cells, which is all about the immune system, friends. So there's a big, big difference in how much nutrition. There's a lot of nutrition in aloe, but also these phytonutrients that really help to, along with the trace minerals that really help the pancreas start getting, busy and making more insulin. Many people have to just lower their insulin levels and their other diabetic medication. But more than that, friends, the energy comes up. So you get energy as a litmus on what you're doing correct. And people are so fatigued, they're just over-caffeinated, and younger people are dying of heart disease and lungs that give out, definitely through lack of circulation. Diabetes is not just a disease to take medication and then I'm okay. No, it impacts the entire body because it reduces the ability for the body to create energy on its own. So everything goes down. And when you hear the markers about long life, you're going to go, oh my goodness, that's really important.
Yes, our guest is Karen Masterson Cook, the founder of Aloe Life International. In 1991, really, quite frankly, the most important and the best of the aloe products sold in the United States. Now, Karen, I know, having, this is my favorite subject, wellness. I've tried lots of different aloe products, and some of them really do literally taste like water, and they actually advertise that, ours tastes like water. But I noticed that the Aloe Life, it tastes like aloe, and I find it works way better. So what is it that you do to the Aloe Life that the other companies don't do? What are we looking for?
Well, basically, people are in a hurry. They don't want to be taking cups and cups of aloe if they don't have to. They don't particularly like the taste. So Aloe Life, what they do, very novice, is we use the most potent aloe, the aloe species, Aloe arborensis with a B. The arborensis is a smaller plant seen more in the Asian countries, Japan and Korea, and a lot of the studies coming out of those countries use the arborensis, or they also cross-reference the barbadendis with a B. But they're just different species. I like the barbadendis. That's what the company Aloe Life has been harvesting for over 30 years. And the big difference is the actives are in there. And it's the polysaccharides that have to be in a certain chain. High heat destroys it. And with so many companies wanting to get on the bandwagon over these 30 years, they've been overheating the product and they lose the human immunity. So yes, they might be helping a little bit on your digestion. So a little bit of aloe does a little bit to help you get out of heartburn, perhaps, which is wonderful for that. So you can start digesting your food. But when you have a strong product, you're going to have everything the plant intended. It is the most important first aid plant, the king of herbal bitters, and you will see why it also has been classed as the miracle plant over the thousands of years of all the herbals that go back thousands of years, friends, have used even into Egypt and Greece. And they're kept in museums now, these herbal books, and they're so interesting. But again, Aloe Life matches up with all of the different wonderful attributes of aloe. Enhanced immunity. I've seen tumor reduction over and over again. I've seen calming down of the immune system. What's the difference? You take more. If you want to supercharge your immune system like we did with our study in clinic, where I saw a lung tumor resolve in 2 weeks with extra vitamin C as well as extra vitamin A in a therapeutic dose. It's in my little book. You've got to use a product that has this immunity in the 80,000 to 100,000 polysaccharide chains, not the 2 million and not the 50,000 or 36,000, but in that 80,000 to, I would say, 400,000. That's what the research matches up with, okay? So you've got to have a product that it really works not only with helping with wounds, with all the infection fighters and the anti-inflammatories, I mean the skin gel, which we highlighted last show that we did together. That was so fun. But also detoxification of the liver. And when we look at what has kept people living long, healthy lives into their 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100, the centenarians, their blood work, and also the list that they made for themselves, the goal setting, you're going to see why aloe matches up with long life.
Yes. Our guest is Karen Masterson Cook, a clinical nutritionist with more than 40 years of experience, and the founder of Aloe Life International, who really produces an excellent and very possibly the best of the aloe vera products available in the United States. I say that I use them, actually. The Aloe Gold is very successful. I mean, a lot of people realize how good it works for digestion, for cleansing, helping the liver, and also the skin gel for skin, because I have skin issues, and I'm conscious of that. And the skin gel works remarkably well, and I want to go on record saying that I enjoy that very much. Its use for me has been successful and quick too. I want to mention it. For me, it's been very quick. Now, Karen, the Aloe Life Aloe Vera, where can we purchase that in the United States so listeners know? I mean, can we go into local natural food stores, into pharmacies? Who's carrying that right now?
Such a good question. Where do I get my hands on it? Well, actually, over 2,500 wonderful stores, both brick and mortar, as we refer to them, like Sprouts. They've had 3 different name changes over the years, but the Sprouts across the country, Vitamin Cottage, Natural Grocers, Mother's, Clark's, so many great health food stores in California, but across the United States, and online too. I mean, if you don't want to go out in this heat or the weather, it's wonderful. We have great partners on Amazon and other platforms. So just Google. Don't settle for less. Get the best, because then you will get. We're the only company that's done a wound study, but why that feeds into long life is skin cancer is at an all-time high, because people it's not just overexposure, it's because they're eating the wrong foods. They're not getting the vitamin A in the levels for lining cells for their gut, but also on the outside too. And that's what we find. It just really takes the stimulus of an herb like Aloe to not just, you want to be responsible and get anything removed, because there's so much skin cancer going on, and some of them just look like a little skin issue that's not even black. So make sure you get it checked out. But we've had people have these skin cancers grow back, and then they can go internally, friends. So again, what we're talking about is a shortcut back to health, and when you drink it, it stimulates immunity to get active, especially when you're taking vitamin C, vitamin E, which are so essential. It shows that they kick up their actual digestion and absorption 200% and 300%. You cannot have a healthy immune system without vitamin E. And when you get that extra piggyback effect from a quality aloe like Aloe, you are just feeling on top of the world. Give it 45 to 90 days. And when we come back to the next question, you're going to see how this matches up. Oh, the blood sugar, too. Let's just say real quick, 2 very large studies that were done on blood sugar were done in Korea as well as India. I always say East India for us Americans. They go, why do you say East India? India. And because they have thousands of people that can be in these studies, which are just, they're so willing to take some aloe. And there were over 3,000 diabetics that were in, and people living with heart disease in this one study that's in this nice handout called Optimum Health, which could be yours too, and you can read it for yourself. But they found that just within 2 months, their blood sugar came down to almost normal, which is supposed to be 200 on the glucose. Their triglycerides, which are sugar fats, which really is a marker for heart disease, also came down remarkably well. And cholesterol, the negative cholesterol, which is so involved, 1 out of 2.5 people, I don't know how they get those kind of figures, have heart disease, friends. And younger people are having sudden death. It's really shameful in their 40s and 50s. But the LDL, that low-density lipid, is the trigger for inflammation in the arteries. And because we can get these sterols functioning and give you some education to stop eating sugar, okay? Who doesn't know sugar is not a healthy food? And cow's milk, okay, and whole grains. So when you get my book, you're going to understand that we were wrong. All of us nutritionists, I've been talking health for over 40 years in clinics, and now with Aloe Life, we were wrong about that. So say quinoa. Can you say quinoa with a Q? Much better than oatmeal or any of your oat bran and whole wheat cereals. Getting into winter, you got to know the truth, friends, and the truth is Aloe Life is an amazing, amazing product that will really get you back into health and feeling good, looking good. And that's the good news.
Karen, I have a question for you. Our guest is Karen Masterson-Cook, who's the founder of Aloe Life, known for their quality aloe vera products. Now, Karen, if someone is to use the Aloe Gold, the liquid, say just they're using it in general, maybe they have problems with gas or bloating, or they have some gut issues. How much do I need to use? What do you recommend, and how do I take it?
Well, that's the beautiful thing, is that it's very economical. You can take capsules to get started on your digestion. Capsules. That means 1 quart will last you 2 months, so very economical. But if you have many other issues, say you've been battling with, say, cancer or with diabetes or with lung issues, and a whole lot more. There's over 160 autoimmunes now, and, so whatever it is, you might need 2 ounces. But with immunity, I'm so glad you asked, more is better. And that's what we're talking about. This with toxicity amongst us, we do have a toxic country and world from, over 90,000 chemicals that are listed in California in Prop 65. But many of them, even chlorine, biphenyls, that are side chemicals that chlorine, actually causes, is cancer causing. So we have a lot. So you might just, get back on track, saying 3 to 4 ounces. That's what we found really helped to stimulate immunity, and then go back to a maintenance amount. Just, don't stop. It's the best daily supplement there ever was, with all the different minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and trace minerals that turn on the pancreas to really stimulate more insulin. What's the worst thing? You might have to adjust your medicine, you and your doctor, and we have that all the time. Could it be this aloe that's lowering my blood sugar? I'm taking your orange papaya or the cherry berry. They're all therapeutic, so if you want a product that tastes better, the flavors or our tablets are absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. Read the reviews, Aloe Life, for a shortcut back to health, along with diet. Hey, there's no free pass here, and you'll see that when we get into what the healthy centenarians, people who live to be 100, what they found was true for them.
Karen, I do have a question. When people use the Aloe Gold, and they're using, say, 1 to 4 ounces a day, depending on how they see they need it, is it important to keep the Aloe Gold in the refrigerator when not in use?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Absolutely. It is a food. If you're taking an aloe now, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated, it's not worth taking. Mm-hmm. There's so many products that are misbranded. It's really, a shame. We are members of the World Organization, the International Aloe Science Council, and big articles have gone out on adulteration with aloe, and a lot of lawsuits, because they're buying products from the big box stores, and even some of the health food stores carry some devitalized aloe products, and they're not getting the results. So if you're not getting the results I'm talking about, and definitely, taking some key core nutrients like vitamin C and E and even B complex to get your whole metabolism working again. If you've gotten stuck in this glycation, another condition where the whole body stops, or gastroparesis, you can't even digest water. This is happening, friends. You can just take Aloe Life. We love hearing from you. You can give us an email or call or give a review online so you can help other people. So, yes, there's a big difference in aloe products. But I'll tell you, when it comes to the centenarians, 75% of it is environmental factors. This is the research shows, is that it's really what you eat. Who's telling you that? Your doctor's not telling you that. Maybe if you have a good physician, they say you got to eat healthy foods, the Mediterranean diet. People are starving themselves going vegetarian. I was one. I was really wasting away. Right. So you've got to make sure you get protein. That's what builds the immune system. And then you need these other core nutrients in larger amounts. But the Aloe Life helps to actually carry it in deeper in the cell and balance the glutathione in the liver. That's what they show, that people who live to be a long life actually have high glutathione reductase and catalase enzymes.
Let me jump in here. Our guest has been Karen Masterson-Cook, a clinical nutritionist for more than 40 years of experience, educator, author of Beyond Gluten Intolerance, and the founder of Aloe Life International, producing, in my opinion, the best aloe products available in the United States. I'd like to thank Karen and Aloe Life, and you can contact them at www.aloelife.com or call them at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-2563 for questions or to order in person. Also, you get great customer service with them, and satisfaction is guaranteed. This is Josh Lane. You're listening to Here's to Your Health. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after these important messages. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Here's to Your Health with Joshua Lane. If you have any questions about the guests or topics discussed tonight, please give us a call at 818-707-0005. That number is 818-707-0005. This is Josh Lane. On behalf of the cast and crew, I would like to wish you a healthy and safe good evening.